Good morning. Good morning. Right down to the wire, to the limit, to the wall. Oh, Liz, my big girl, she's gonna do so good in kindergarten. That child is ready. You did a good job, Mama. She is ready. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Thank you to everybody who already downloaded the new episode of Tell Me What to Do. Today is a new episode of the Tell Me What to Do podcast about family estrangement and abandonment. And it is out now. For those of you who listen, you now know who punched me in the face. Don't say it here because I want people to listen. I'll give you a quick update on how my kids did at school. Hey, 6'9", damn, you're fine. I love you too, Tracy friend. That's a beautiful thing to say. Anyway, I have to record today, and I have a bunch of Zoom, so I'm trying to get my face right so people don't have to listen to me, look at me, ugly. So how did the kids do at school yesterday? They did really well. Charlie said it was not hard to wear her mask. Olivia said that she misses her friends at her old school and that this was a lot harder than she thought it was going to be. And that made me sad because I want her to be happy, but I told her to give it some time. Because these things take time. But school was good and they felt safe and they got mask breaks and they washed their hands and it went as well as a first day of school in the middle of a pandemic can go. And we're very grateful for that. Hold on one second. My kids will go 5 days a week. Yes, they are in Catholic school, so yes, they will go 5 days a week. I don't apply anything every morning. Oh gosh, no. Just whenever I put on makeup. This is Marilyn Monroe told me to use it. Ernie Laszlo tinted treatment. I don't know. Anyway, so Max said it was fine. It was mostly just organizing their desks and putting away their supplies and getting to know their teacher and talking about processes. Olivia has mass today. So she had to wear her mass uniform, which is, the tie and the whole thing. So she was a little grumpy this morning, but I don't care because God is important. And if you have to put on something a little extra for God, you're going to go ahead and do it. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now, hey, JJ Pruitt. Speaking of my Catholic brother right there, how you doing with God this morning, JJ? I'd love to see you. So anyway, they did well, and Michael and I took them. It was really nice. We went together again and dropped them off this morning, and carpool was much better this morning, much more efficient. Still a little nerve-wracking for me because, again, I got outvoted. So, but you know what? I realized, like, it is so scary what's out there. It is. There's no question about that. But, you know, we're a family, and what we will do the best we can as a family unit and deal with whatever comes our way, you know? Again, just to tell you again, to those of you who just joined, oh my God, Debbie Fernandez, I'm so sorry. Just to tell you again really quick, there is a new episode of the Tell Me What to Do podcast, and it is about family, estrangement, and abandonment. And I wanted to do this podcast. We'll talk about the actual podcast tomorrow. Give everybody a chance to listen. I hope if you walk today, or you fold laundry today, or you're just, whatever you're doing, you can put your earpods in while you're at the grocery store and listen to me in your pocket, you know? Please share the podcast with people, anybody you know that is going through family estrangement or dealing with abandonment issues. I would so appreciate if you would share it on your Facebook page. Encourage people to listen. But okay, enough infomercial about my podcast. Somebody said to me yesterday, why do you have to talk about it? Why do you have to talk about it? And I will tell you why. I have to talk about it because there are a lot of people struggling. There are a lot of people struggling. There are a lot of people who feel a lot of shame in estrangement, especially child estrangement. When your own children do not want to talk to you, it is and can be brutal. When you have to cut off your own parents, it is and can be brutal because people look at you like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you have a relationship with your own mother? And it's like, right. It makes you look like there's something wrong with you. Can somebody on Instagram post the link so I can pin the comment, please? Somebody's asking for the link to the podcast. You can also just Google Tell Me What to Do with Jamie Premack Sullivan and the link will come up. The reason why we talk about these things is because as we learn to set boundaries and as we learn what does and doesn't work for us anymore, and as we try to make peace with some of us who come from dysfunctional families, right? Dysfunctional families. There is a certain shame and embarrassment that comes along with being part of a dysfunctional family. It is hurtful to everybody involved, even the people who have to do the cutting off. It is hurtful for them. It is hurtful for the people who have been cut off. Our country is at an impasse right now. with politics and all kinds of things tearing us apart. People are drawing lines in the sand that they never drew before because they feel there is so much at stake. And families are being destroyed. Secrets of abuse and molestation. People are struggling very much with keeping those secrets. And feeling like they were not heard or believed or listened to as children. And they now have the courage to say, I am done. I am done pretending that this didn't happen. I can't have a relationship with you anymore if you cannot acknowledge addiction, the pain in families from addiction is heartbreaking. It makes me very sad to see what is going on. Remember when the worst thing that could happen in your family is somebody would come out to be gay? Remember like the 80s? Boy, we'd all wish that would be the only shit we'd have to deal with. I have, when I tell you, like, listen, I want to put your mind at ease. Not that you want other people to suffer, but I do want to put your mind at ease really for a second, okay? I have thousands, not hundreds, thousands of messages from people who are dealing with family estrangement and abandonment. Thousands of people who are in pain, who don't know if they made the right decision, who don't know if someone cutting them off was the right decision. So many people in my DM saying, can you talk about this? Can you put our mind at ease about this? Can you blankety blank, blank, blank? And the reason that I talk about it is because people are suffering. And, I say to the people who ask me, I have one woman who had a baby with someone and she doesn't talk to the father of her child. And even though she knows she made the right decision, and even though he's not for her and she doesn't want to be with him, she carries so much shame that she had a baby with a man she can't talk to. And it is eating her alive. And when people say, Jamie, why do you talk about these things? You don't have to talk about everything. I go, well, if we don't talk about them, right, how will anybody else know they're not alone? Truly, how will anybody else know they're not alone? I mean, isn't that really the thing? Don't we just need to know sometimes that we are not alone? How many people talk to me about things, not because I'm a therapist, I'm not, but because they don't have anyone else to talk to in their life about certain things? I'm not here to judge anybody. Nobody envisions a life of family estrangement. Nobody envisions a life where they've been abandoned by a husband, a baby daddy, a baby mama, a sibling, whatever. Nobody goes into their life like, yeah, my kid is probably going to stop talking to me. Nobody envisions that for their life. And so many of us are finding ourselves in this situation and we feel alone. You're not alone. Secrecy and silence breeds shame, and shame leads to anxiety and depression. So if we talk about it, maybe it doesn't affect you, But you can be part of the conversation to remind other people in the comments that they are not alone, or just that you love them. I didn't make one dime. I don't make one penny talking to you about this. I don't make money on my podcast. I hope the company that makes my podcast makes money. I hope Lemonada Media, I hope it's successful. I hope we get a lot of sponsors and advertisers that believe in it and want to support it, but it's not for me. It's for us. Because if I don't heal, I will fuck up my kids. Period. If I don't heal, I will fuck up my kids. And if I fuck up with my kids, then they will meet your kids in a bar, in a playground, in a lunchroom, in a restaurant, and fuck up your kids. And we don't want that. We can't have that. Now, somebody just said, my 18-year-old daughter wants nothing to do with me. I feel like I lost her in my divorce. It is humiliating and heartbreaking, and I feel like a failure. Do you know how many women, not that it makes you feel better, because you don't want anybody else to hurt, but do you know how many women are in my messages telling me that they've lost their children in a divorce, emotionally lost them, and they are suffering so bad from this? It is so difficult when anything tears your family apart. Addiction, politics, racism, homophobia, gossip, lies, affairs, divorce, whatever. A family unit is meant to provide security and safety. And when that family unit is cracked open, when that family unit starts to fall apart, you feel like you have failed. You feel like you have no safety net. You think I want to talk about the shit going on in my family? You think I want to get in front of a microphone and tell you where I feel like I have failed? I do not. I do not. But if I don't, I will feel like the shame and the fake front or whatever will eat me alive. It will eat me alive. So I am just here to tell you, you are absolutely not alone. And I really do urge you to listen to this episode of Tell Me What to Do, because there is a family therapist who talks me through family estrangement and abandonment. She answers your questions and mine, and I am not a therapist. That is why I'm doing this podcast. Please listen to it. Alana says, I grieve for a child that's still alive. It's devastating. There are so many women who have said to me, it would be easier if my child had passed because I could make peace with their passing. But knowing that my child walks around on this earth and is getting married and having children and making decisions and living her life and wants nothing to do with me, it kills me every day. You are not alone in that feeling. Listen to this week's podcast. It's 54 minutes. You deserve an hour in your life to heal, to have somebody tell you what to do. You don't have to take my advice. Take it from a professional who was telling me what to do. Nobody knows. It is so important right now, as children are watching families being torn apart in this election, unlike anything I have ever seen. Why don't we talk to Uncle so-and-so? Why can't I see Grandma? What do you mean by Grandpa's toxic? What does that mean? Why don't you speak to your sisters? Why can't I see my cousins? We are all dealing with this. And I ask that you listen And the podcast is out right now, and it's free. You can listen right now. If you have an iPhone, go to your podcast app and search Tell Me What to Do with Jamie Premack Sullivan. Then hit subscribe. That's very important. Hit subscribe and download this episode. It's free. You can sit, drink your coffee. You can go for a walk. You can do whatever you want. If you don't have an iPhone, you can find it on Spotify, on Stitcher. You can find it on iHeart, Google Play. Anywhere that podcasts are hosted, you can find it. If you absolutely cannot find the link, I posted it in my post this morning, the Apple link and the Spotify link. If you really can't find it, Lord help you. If you really can't find it, tell me here what kind of phone you have and we will post the link for you. Or you can just go to Google. Just open Google and Google it. But I show up here. Do you have to download? Yes, please download it. It doesn't do anything to your phone though. If you have an Android, use the podcast app and download it. It is a free hour of therapy. I brought her on. She charges a lot of money for family therapy. You get it for free. Go listen. It really helped me. Anyway, I love you guys. You know I do. If nobody else tells you all day, I'm here to tell you that I love you. And you are not alone in anything that you are going through or feeling. I wonder if my eyelashes will ever stop falling out. You can listen in your car. You can plug your phone in your car and put it on your Bluetooth. You can listen on Spotify, anywhere. Please download the episode and listen. And I'm very grateful to our sponsors because their sponsorship, I don't make any money, but it pays for the fun music and the editing and those people. So I'm very grateful for them. And Olivia really does love her new Helix sleep mattress. If you guys need a new mattress, I am not kidding. It came in a box. We ordered one. It came in a box and it is awesome. Olivia needed a new mattress so bad. Do you know my dog peed on her mattress? So effing disgusting. And I was like, I'm not cleaning this shit. I'm buying a new mattress. And because Helix Sleep gave us $200 off, I was like, $200 off? Good for me. I'm buying it. I use Better Than Sex mascara. Amanda on Instagram says, I like to listen while I'm cooking. That's great. Oh, Melissa Ann says, we just got one of those Helix Sleep. I wish there were subtitles, closed captions, so I can listen to it. To the podcast? Guys, go to Helix Sleep. Wait, listen to the podcast and get the code so you can get $200 off. Choking on my own throat. $200 off and 2 free pillows. $200 off and 2 free pillows. Samantha, you just listen to the podcast. You can't put subtitles because you just listen. There's no words. What mattress company? It's called Helix Sleep. So I like the company so much, we reached out to them and they decided to be a sponsor on the podcast. Go to before you buy a mattress, listen to your friend who's going to give you money off. Before you buy a mattress, listen to the podcast and get the code so you can go online and get $200 off plus 2 free pillows. I had to replace Olivia's mattress. I had to because Knox peed on her fucking bed. Knox is in training school. Some people can't. Oh, Cindy, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Okay, okay, Cindy, I misunderstood you. I wonder how I can help you. Yeah, I misunderstood. Cindy, I misunderstood you. I apologize. Yes, I understand now. Okay, guys, yes, I'm guessing she's deaf. I misunderstood her. Listen, I'm not trying to be funny. I know it sounds silly. I'm not an infomercial girl. I only sell, okay, Samantha, I understand now. You should have a way to print the script. Okay, so if you go to today's episode of Tell Me What to Do with Jamie Premack Sullivan, listen to the podcast and write down the code for Helix Sleep. And go to Helix Sleep and take the sleep quiz. That's what we did. And use the code and you get $200 off plus 2 free pillows. Guys, I don't hawk shit. You know that. I don't sell anything on my page but my cross and my pajamas. This mattress rocks. Okay. So somebody said, how do I listen to the podcast on a Samsung? Does anybody know how to listen to the podcast on a Samsung? I don't know. Where is the best place to find your podcast? You can find it on your podcast app, if you have an Android or a iPhone, you can find it right on your podcast app. It's a purple podcast app. You can search Tell Me What to Do with Jamie Premack Sullivan. If you don't have those phones, you can go to Spotify, you can go to iHeart, you can just Google it, Google Podcasts, anywhere. Okay, so everybody post the link. That would be so helpful. Okay, so now I have to go. Oh, Samsung is an Android. Y'all, I don't know. Spotify. Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio is a good one. Go to Google Play and ask for podcasts. I don't know anymore. Okay, I love you guys. Everybody post the app. Please, the link. Please post the link is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I love you so much. I love you. You can use Stitcher or Apple Podcast from a Samsung. iHeart. Don't be depressed. Listen to this podcast, okay? Christina, there is an episode of my podcast on grief. Please go share it with your sister. Can I get it on an iPad? Absolutely. Just Google it. Google, Tell Me What to Do with Jamie Premack Sullivan podcast. It'll come right up and you can play it. I love you guys so much. Have a great, great day.